The Illinois State Police have the ability to chase police officers. They have that training. We need CPD to get that same training so that way we can pursue. The criminals know that there's a policy in place. So what do they do when they're committing a crime? They just leave. And the supervisors in turn say, stop the chase. All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Alderman Gilbert Villegas, G-I-L-B-E-R-T, Villegas, V-I-L-L-E-G-A-S, Alderman of the 36th Ward. Here this morning, we're here with a number of community groups. Greater Westtown Community Coalition, UVNA, East Village Association, Chicago Grand Neighbors Association, Commercial Park Advisory Council, Westtown Neighbors Association, West Bucktown Neighbors Association, West Loop Community Organization, Westo Park Chamber, and East Logan Square Community Coalition. This meeting is a follow-up from the community meeting that we had on August 15th, 2023 here at the Ukrainian Cultural Center to talk about public safety. There's a direct correlation between what's occurred with the closure of the Wood Street Police District and the uptick in crime over the last decade. I've had my staff analyze the numbers back in 2011, 2012 to where we're at right now, and there's a direct correlation. And so what we've been asking for is for one of two things: either the reopening of the 13th Police District on Wood Street or a satellite office located on Chicago and Ashland in the Goldblatt's building. This is not unprecedented. Currently in the 8th Police District, there is a satellite office where police officers are deploying from a library into the community, so that way they can provide services quicker. In our community right now, what we've seen is armed robberies. What we've seen is burglaries. What we've seen is shootings. What we've seen is carjackings. And the community has had enough. It's 9:30 on a Wednesday morning, and you see folks that are here right now because they're concerned about public safety. At that August 15th meeting, we had the Deputy Mayor of Public Safety, one of the area supervisors for CPD, as well as the commander. When the residents are coming to me to talk about public safety, my job as a legislator, as an appropriator, is to make sure that the funding's there for CPD to do their job. No one in my office is deputized to make arrests. What we do is make sure that CPD has the necessary resources. That's why I've supported these budgets and what CPD is requesting, because we want to make sure that they have the necessary tools. Next month, I'll be introducing an ordinance to reinstate the pursuit policy for CPD. The Illinois State Police have the ability to chase police officers. They have that training. We need CPD to get that same training so that way we can pursue. The criminals know that there's a policy in place. So what do they do when they're committing a crime? They just leave. And the supervisors in turn say, stop the chase. We need that pursuit policy in place. So I'll be talking to my colleagues to try to get that introduced in December and try to get passed by the first of the year. We are asking for Mayor Johnson as well as Superintendent Snelling to meet with the community. We need to hear what the plan is around public safety. We know that there's the strategy around addressing the root cause. Everybody supports that. We all support getting to the root cause. But what are we doing today? What are we doing today to send a message to criminals that there are going to be consequences? What are we doing today to stop the armed robberies, the carjackings? What are we doing today? And that's what the community wants to know. What are we doing? The mayor and Superintendent Snelling were requesting that you come to Westtown to talk about the issues that are plaguing the community on a daily basis. Again, I've invited community members to come here to talk about instances where they've been impacted by crime, to talk about their issues around the Westtown area. The next speaker will be Sam Royko, who is part of the coalition.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sam Royko, R-O-Y-K-O. Today I am here representing the Greater Westtown Community Coalition to advocate on behalf of my neighbors, the community leaders, and 10 different community organizations that are concerned about the significant rise in violent crime. Previously, I had met and discussed community safety with Alderman Laspada of the 1st Ward and Deputy Mayor of Community Safety Garion Gatewood, as well as other individuals in leadership. I still have been unable to get them to take community safety seriously. Even more frustrating, after meeting with these officials, I've questioned whether there is even an effective data-driven plan to reduce violent crime, or whether there are benchmarks to tell if we are making a difference in addressing root causes. Because of our inability to get answers or improvements, roughly a week ago, we sent out a letter to the Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, Mayor Brandon Johnson, the City Council, and to our local Cook County commissioners. In our letter, we outlined a series of concerns and potential solutions, and we asked the City of Chicago and Cook County to act swiftly to, among other things, 1, provide a strategic plan and roadmap to reduce violent crime, and 2, craft and publish a data-driven plan to create safer, healthier communities by addressing the root causes of crime. If you're interested in reading our letter, I've pinned it on X, formerly known as Twitter, on my page @SamRoyko, and have shared it on the Greater Westtown community page on Facebook. Before I begin, let me acknowledge that we very much appreciate Alderman Villegas working with us to try to address violent crime. We hope more of our elected officials join us in working with community groups to build safer communities. We are here today because we have seen a dramatic increase in violent crime across both the city and the Greater Westtown area. For example, in Westtown, which includes Ukrainian Village where we currently are, almost 900 people have been victims of violence so far this year. Other areas, such as Logan Square, have seen more than 200 armed robberies in the last 90 days. That's an average of more than 2 armed robberies a day, and an almost 300% increase compared to this time last year. To put that further in perspective, in 2018, just 5 years ago, there were only 136 armed robberies in Logan Square throughout the entire year. If we extrapolate the victimizations of these armed robberies we've seen in the last 3 months, we would be on pace for more than 800 armed robberies in Logan Square alone this year. That is almost a 600% increase compared to 2018, just 5 years ago. And similar or even worse trends exist throughout the city. This is truly unacceptable. We must do better, and we must demand accountability from our leaders. We have to remember also, though, that crime is not just a statistic, but has a dramatic impact on the lives of our friends, neighbors, and loved ones. Today, you will hear from several of our neighbors in the Greater Westtown community area. They will share how violent crime has impacted their lives this year. At the conclusion of hearing their stories, I hope you join me in contacting our elected officials and calling for Mayor Johnson and Superintendent Snelling to attend a community meeting here at the Ukrainian Cultural Center on November 14th at 5:30 p.m. to share the administration's plans to reduce crime and give residents a roadmap for safer communities that they can hold their leaders accountable to. We must work together to demand safer, healthier, and a more vibrant city for everyone who lives in Chicago and the Greater Westtown community. Thank you so much for your time.
I live right here in the neighborhood, and in the summer, just like a month at the end of the summer, at the end of July, my son and his friend were bike riding 4 blocks from one house to the other before sundown, and 5 teenagers and a 10-year-old stopped them. They thought they were being friendly, and they had guns and knives and took my son's bike. And they were about to take their phones and the other kid's bike, and somebody stopped them. But now I don't know what to do about my son in our neighborhood. I want him to have a childhood that's safe, and we can't.
Good morning. I was born and raised in Lakeview and am now raising my 3 children in Bucktown. My mother worked for the city for 29 years, and my sister is a principal within CPS. Being a proud Chicagoan comes easily, but I'm here today because public safety needs to be a bigger priority, and the rise in violent crime is unacceptable. On December 12th, after taking my kids to school, I parked in front of my house in Bucktown I was finishing a call and gathering my belongings when a car sped up and stopped next to mine, blocking me in. 4 men exited the vehicle. One had a semi-automatic weapon and the other a handgun, both which were pointed at me. They opened the door, pulled me out of the car, and demanded the password to my cell phone. I did exactly as they told me to do. They quickly looked through my car as they were holding me near the driver's side door. Moments later, they sped off in their car with my cell phone and wallet. I began to run down the street screaming for help. It was 10 a.m. on a Monday. I was 4 months pregnant at the time, and I was sure the trauma of that day ended my long-awaited pregnancy. Thankfully, that was not the case. As the days and weeks went on, all I could think about was, what if I had my children in the car that day? It took a bit for the fear to sink in. The disbelief was real. Now, most days when I'm at a stoplight or parking my car or getting in and out, I look around and pray that that won't happen again. But the more I hear about similar armed robberies in every neighborhood, the more I'm just not so sure. I'm grateful for my neighbors and the CPD for helping me on that day, but something has to change. We need to be able to drive down the street or park in front of our homes and not fear that our life, or more importantly, our children, are in danger. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you spell your name?
My first name is Meg.
Meg.
M-E-G.
Good morning, my name is Mario Estrada. About a month ago, I was robbed at gunpoint right outside of my home. I live in Logan Square. I'm a husband and a father of a 2-year-old and another on the way. When 2 people run at you and they point a gun at your head and at your chest, and then they force you down to the ground, all you can think about is just, please, please don't kill me. I can't lose my son, and my son can't lose me. My wife, my family, it's all you can think about. What they wanted was the $100 in my wallet, but what they took was so much more. I'm the kind of person that loves to walk around my neighborhood to see my neighbors. But that's changed. All I can see now aren't neighbors. Honestly, I see potential victims. I think how stupid you are for walking outside and not realizing at any point what might happen to you. Or I see threats. People that I didn't used to think were threats, and now suddenly I see not my neighbors. That's what they took from me. And so I'm left every day just thinking, how many more days do I have left in Chicago? How can I possibly raise a family here? I can't walk inside my own home without looking everywhere, without seeing cars with tinted windows and wondering, are they gonna get me? That's the fear that's running through our neighborhoods. That's the fear and the anger that I feel every single day. I'm just trying to get back to my life, to be a father, to work, provide for my family, but all I think about is this fear and this anger and having that gun at the back of my head. That's all I can think about. This is such a serious issue. It's not just me. You see the people behind me. We're feeling this deeply. Our families are feeling this deeply. I hope it stops, but we need a plan. Thank you for your time.
Can you spell your name first?
Mario Estrada, M-A-R-I-O, Estrada, E-S-T-R-A-D-A.
Do you remember the date that you were, or a rough date?
I think this was October 4th, less than a month ago.
Okay, thank you.
Can you speak Spanish?
Yeah, to a degree.
We got a Spanish speaker that's going to speak shortly.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. My name is Erica. I've lived in the Ukrainian Village area since 2007, and a year ago in September, my boyfriend was walking me home, and we saw a car coming north that turned the wrong way on a one-way street and said, geez, I hope you're okay, don't hit anyone. We got to the intersection, and 2 men approached us with guns, threw us to the ground, and took all our belongings. I was 3 houses from my home, and I just remember being on the ground just hoping that they would just take and leave and not shoot us or hurt us. 3 doors from where I live. I think what was the most surprising for me was how young they were. I don't think these gentlemen could have been more than 17, 18, and how calm they were and how smooth it went and how quickly they were able to see us walking, make the choice to turn the wrong way, to head us off at the intersection, and carry out their plan, I guess. And very grateful to be alive, my boyfriend as well. And I just really hope that at some point we can find solutions for individuals who do commit and who are found, especially if they're under 18, that they have some diversion programs or opportunities vocationally or something, so that they know that there's other choices in life. So, but just thank you for coming out today.
And you're sharing your first name. Can you just spell that?
Erica, E-R-I-C-A. Thank you.
This man en español. I'm going to speak in Spanish for my community. So, good morning. My name is Patty. Mi nombre es Patty. Vengo de parte de mi comunidad, apoyando a los que están ahorita aquí, que estamos sufriendo lo mismo que ellos y que necesitamos ayuda hacia al mayor, al superintendente y a todas las personas que estén en este grupo, porque ya es demasiado. Yo personalmente he sufrido violencia de balazos y esto no es nada bueno. Necesitamos ayuda urgentemente. Yo vengo de Westo Park. London and Division, está súper mal la situación allá y venimos aquí a pedir ayuda y apoyar a toda nuestra comunidad, que Chicago es uno solo y tenemos que estar unidos todos. Gracias.
Take any questions you have.
Measure to amend the chase policy. We've asked the superintendent about that. He said there is a chase policy, but there's a balancing test officers have to do. Oftentimes that leads to them not chasing. What would you change, and how do you square that with the liability of some of these crashes that cost the city a lot of money?
Right, and that's why, so the Illinois State Police provides extensive training around police pursuits. And so what we want to do is require that CPD take that same training, so that way it can reduce the liability. Let me tell you what else is a liability. When you have someone that commits a crime and we're not chasing them. You know what else is criminal is when you have someone sticking a rifle in the face of residents here, and we're not sure, because they are young, they don't understand what the consequences are. And so I'm working closely with some attorneys around drafting that language, so that way we can make sure that it fits within the parameters of the Illinois State Police. And again, if the Illinois State Police are doing this, there's no reason why CPD can't do this.
And what's the latest you've heard from the mayor or the superintendent about reopening the 13th or the 12th district? I understand Alderman Laspada and Burnett have signed on.
That's right. So I've gotten both Alderman Laspada as well as Alderman Burnett to co-sign onto a measure to take a look at putting forward a satellite office. I think that's going to be a little tough to get the 13th police district. However, I'm going to continue to advocate for that. But in the immediate, we can get a satellite office at Chicago and Ashland in the old Goldblatt's building. Again, this is not unprecedented. They're doing this right now in the 8th district. I think that this is the type of measures we need to take to make sure that there's more visibility, more police officers that are in the area, so that way we can try to deter crime.
And do you think there's the political will to do that from City Hall or from CPD?
Well, listen, at the end of the day, I'm here today with 10 community groups. So I'm not here alone making this request. This is the Westtown neighbors that are all together, thousands of people that are supporting this measure. And so that's why I asked both my colleagues that represent Westtown to sign on to the letter, and they both did, because they understand that the challenges, and they understand that criminals just don't commit crimes in wards. They don't stop at the 36th ward and then not go into another ward. They go around the area, and that's why we got these community groups here, because we want to deter this.
Alderman, we've heard from a number of individuals about how crime has impacted their lives. Have you heard from business owners? And I ask this specifically because in the last 10 to 14 days we've had close to 10 crash and grab robberies. What are you hearing from them, and have you heard any type of plan when it comes to those types of crimes?
Right, so that's part of the problem. And that's why we're inviting both Mayor Johnson as well as Superintendent Snelling to come forward and discuss the plan.
Have you heard a plan?
Nope. So I'll be here November 14th waiting to see if we can get some answers around a plan. I know that there have been some businesses that have put measures to try to deter the smash and grabs. I think that there was an issue with permitting, so we'll take a look at what needs to be done in order to ensure that those businesses that want to put ballards or whatever measures to deter that, they can do that. But we haven't heard the plan, and we understand that there's like I said, the root cause. We all agree with that. But in the immediate, what are we doing now? Whether it's going down to Springfield to take a look at changing some legislation around the minors that are committing these crimes, figuring out a way. I'm not a lock them up and throw the key away type of person. I do believe in second chances, but when you have people that are continuing to commit crimes and there's no consequences, this is what you get right now. Well, listen, thank you guys for coming out this morning. And really, thank you guys. Thank you all for coming out this morning. Thank you.
Do you think you can try Spanish to tell us what happened? If not, it's fine.
No, I can't. Give me a second to sort of prepare for it. If you